patty friends, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. If this is not your first time, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate that. And I was almost done editing the video of steroids and, like the problems of people who use steroids. And so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe because that's the next like long video coming up. I'm planning on like maybe posting like shorter videos that are easier to edit. But Jubilee just dropped. Jillian Michaels versus the body positivity movement, and I could not help myself. I had to react to it, right? I had to react to it. First things first, I literally have 25 minutes before I have to go to my classes. So this video itself is gonna have two parts because the entire video on Jubilee is an hour and 46 minutes. So I don't want, and you know how I like to talk, So here I'm already talking too much. But yes, follow me on TikTok and on Instagram as well, because I'm trying also to post things there. And I have really good ideas of videos for the channel. So I know I don't want to miss that. I'm gonna get my monster because I think we're gonna need a lot of energy for that. Well, I can't find my straw, so I don't know why I'm talking like that. So it's going to be like straight from the can. Yes. So without further ado, if you hear like an alarm in the background, it's just like my timer because I have to work. I don't know if you want me to become a full-time content creator, like subscribe, like, and let's make this community bigger. Let's make it reach further. Oh God, Ida, shut up and just go, but subscribe.
See more fitness and wellness advocates asking for that.
Oh yeah.
Would you say that it should be against the law to discriminate against people based on their body size?
Unquestionably.
So why don't we see more fitness and wellness advocates asking for that?
I'm happy to ask for it. I'll ask for it right now.
I think it should be legal to discriminate. See, like the video has barely begun, and here I am already making comments. Some things that I've seen shocked some people in the US is that racism in Brazil is actually illegal. Homophobia is illegal. Feminicide is actually a crime. And these made headlines like I want to say like maybe a month ago because an Argentinian tourist called the staff that was waiting on her in a bar, restaurant, whatever, a monkey, and she made like monkey gestures. She was arrested, and now Argentinians who are incredibly racist are trying to like sabotage Brazil and tell people not to go because an Argentinian woman was arrested here for being racist. I mean, how low do you have to go to be defending the racist? Like, no, she shouldn't be arrested. She has a right to be racist. Come on, people. So I just think it should be illegal to be racist, to be homophobic.
Damn, I didn't know that you thought I wasn't for it.
I wasn't allowed to have a ding dong. When I came home and I said, I want ding dongs in my lunch. You know what my mom bought me? Low-fat ding dongs. Maybe there's more to life than trying to
Well, your mom was trying to help you out. I mean, probably you were very fat.
lose weight. That's what body positivity has given me.
You have to love yourself. You have to invite love into the space.
How?
By looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I'm beautiful.
It's not gonna work, kid.
It does
That's
work.
an SNL skit.
Are Americans fat phobic and obsessed with
Okay. Before we start, because I forgot to put this in the intro, I just want to preface by saying that I think Jillian Michaels is a very controversial person. The reason why I decided to react to this video is because I started watching it and then I said, okay, I'm gonna stop because I want to give them a genuine reaction. And she brings up a lot of scientific facts, which I think is great. You know, like if you're going to argue, if you're going to make your point, I think you should. I mean, there are no arguments against facts. You know, like facts are not opinions. Facts are facts. However, she's a person who has, for instance, shown to be like an anti-vaxxer in some instances. What I always say is that you cannot cherry pick your science. You know, if you're going to base your whole argument on scientific facts, you cannot be like, oh, I'll use science for this, but I won't use science for that. And I don't agree with her, with some of her statements. But I gotta say that in this instance, I most likely will be on Jillian's side.
Realistic beauty standards, or has the body positivity movement normalized unhealthy habits and lifestyles? I'm John Regal.
The body positive movement has normalized unhealthy habits, and that's it for the video today, guys. Bye.
And today we're gonna have a debate about what it means to be healthy. Jillian, how are you feeling?
Feel good.
Debaters.
I mean, kudos to her because we know the girl is on the body positive side can be very aggressive, but I don't see in the people like in the body positivity, I don't see like the most controversial ones. I'd love to see like Samira there
You ready
and
for
bringing her books that I doubt she's ever read. I highly doubt it.
Jillian with your best arguments?
There's a Samira video coming as well, so.
All right, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Jillian Michaels. I'm a fitness expert and a health advocate, and today I am surrounded by 20 body positivity activists. All right, my first surrounded claim is that obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
Yes, obesity is not healthy, and pretending that it is put lives at risk because people, when they join the body positivity movement, they usually are at a very vulnerable state. They have like low self-confidence. Probably they have tried and failed at dieting many times before. So they find a movement that embrace them and embrace their bodies and tell them like, no, you don't have to lose weight because like obesity won't cause any health issues, when in reality it does. There are so many risks with like, is it like, oh, if I'm obese, I'm 100% going to have? No, but it increases your chances. That's why I said like it's a seat belt. If you don't wear a seat belt, like, are you going to meet the Lord in an accident? No, but it increases your chances of, saying bye-bye Earth. So you wear a seat belt. People who don't wear sunscreen, it's not guaranteed that they will have skin cancer, but it will increase their chances. So it's basically it, it's, for me, it's so simple to make that point. And I don't think why fat activists are so triggered by it. I always say that if you make a fucking informed decision, if you know the risks and you still choose to be fat, okay, all right, it's your life, your body, do with it as you will. Like some people smoke, some people gamble, some people participate in unhealthy things, but they know the risks. But these people live in I don't know, like in this like utopian world where they think obesity and health are completely unrelated, and that grinds my gears.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
I think this is so unfair because I think they put people here at more advantage. Like, imagine for this guy to run all the way up here when she can just like 2 steps, she's here. I don't know.
Nice to meet you.
I'm an eating disorder therapist. I'm going to do my best to not use the
So she's an eating disorder therapist. Okay, let's hear her out.
word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat-bodied as we talk.
Okay.
Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
Oh my God. I'm not gonna use the O, like the N word, which is so funny because here in Brazil, it's not like people use it all the time, like regardless of their race. But that's not the point. But like, I'm not gonna use the O word. Obesity is a medical like diagnosis. Okay? It's just like, I'm not gonna say cancer or the flu or step throat. It's like, because why is obese offensive? Well, it is what you are. Like, embrace your body, embrace all of your conditions. Oh my God.
Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you
Pretty much. Pretty much.
on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
Yeah,
Or
I just
are
wanted
we
to-
Gonna...
Oh my God, dude. It's like, okay, you wanted to be the first debater, and so are we gonna debate the claim?
Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the
Are
language.
we going to pretend like I'm a 3 and you're my mommy, telling me how to talk?
Wow. Okay.
Okay, that I remember when I saw that, because I saw that part. I was like, okay, Jillian, that was unnecessary. I agree with you. This whole like, let's not, oh no, we can't use the O word is overweight, obese, whatever is, I think it's obese. It's ridiculous, but it wasn't necessary to say that. Like you could have said like, look, I understand why, or I don't understand why, I disagree, and I'm not gonna not use these terms here, whatever. But like, even the girl was like, wow.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Okay. There are
Okay, let's read the fact check. According to the WHO and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, excess body fat, particularly at levels classified as obesity, is associated with increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, certain cancers, high blood pressure, and premature death. However, body fat is not the only determinant of health. Physical activity, diet quality, genetics, and metabolic markers also play major roles. But then again, it can help you get there.
dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat, dozens, is causal, not
Oh,
correlated.
no, that's not true. There's no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But obesity
But you did mention causation, which is very different from correlation. You did say that some people will certainly have some diseases because they're fat.
itself to all cause mortality across the board. Have you heard of something called adiposopathy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works? Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's an additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No, that's
Oh my God, that was a great way of Jillian to really catch her on her lie. Like, oh, then tell me how it works. And she's like, well,
not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, The body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now, the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand. And this is exceptionally dangerous.
Just here, adiposopathy or sick fat refers to dysfunctional fat tissue that contribute to metabolic disease. It's not simply excess body fat, but fat that has become biologically altered in ways that promote inflammation, insulin resistance, abnormal cholesterol levels, and increased cardiovascular risk.
Dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen and they start screaming, literally. And when they do, they release cytokines, inflammatory
The woman like, and they start screaming like, no, my body fat cells never screamed.
proteins, right?
I want to
Oh,
pause.
no, of course you do want to pause. Because it's irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about. So
Jillian, okay, first of all, I don't
Okay,
appreciate
Jillian
the-
is like she gives this very arrogant like vibe to her persona. She's saying facts, but she's like you don't even like she doesn't I think she's not maybe the best person to educate because she's like you don't even know what I'm talking about. Shut the fuck up.
way that you're speaking to me right now. You called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was talking to like a 3-year-old. When I felt like I was talking to you very respectfully. You're talking to me very disrespectfully right now.
Here's the thing.
And I want to.
You're telling me you understand it, but you don't understand it. You fundamentally
I love this face here. Oh my god. 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 That was so perfect. Where
don't understand
like
it. You-
just like I'm just here for the fight, like I'm just here for the drama. Like I don't care.
fundamentally didn't describe it accurately.
But what I understand is that
What's lipotoxicity?
I don't want to talk about. I am not okay. Here, I'm going to say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor. Okay, so I'm not going to talk to you about medical diagnosis because that's outside
that's
my
the
scope, and I'm
topic.
fully
That's the
willing.
claim.
Hey, I'm fully willing to be wrong. What
Again, that's what I don't understand. And sometimes this Jubilee, like the claim is health, obesity. And Jillian is trying to show how excessive fat can cause diseases or increase your risk of diseases. And the woman is like trying to talk about like, we're not going to use the O word. Like it's the claim.
I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that's what you want to litigate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the claim though.
The idea that fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not
There's a
wrong.
robust amount of data.
I'm
You are
not
not-
wrong.
okay, so
Because
let
you
me
can't
finish
look,
the
you
thought.
can't look at.
Then let me finish the
Let me
thought.
finish my thought first,
Okay,
please.
sure.
You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health status.
So fat is an endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc in the body. I didn't finish telling you what happens. So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells, they'll die and they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it up.
But do you know what's
But they
even more
can't clean it
unhealthy
up.
is weight cycling. And as we talked about earlier, only except for your people who
the claim. If you want to talk about that claim, we can. The claim is
So then what are
that
you supposed
having-
to do though? So let's say this person is in a fat body and they are inherently unhealthy, right? We're telling they're unhealthy because they're in this
the
fat
vast
body.
majority
What are
of
they supposed to
people will
do?
be significantly more prone to all-cause mortality. For me,
Intentional weight loss fails 95 to 98% of the time.
That is not true. And Sam at Exercise has debunked that. This was a study made with I think very few people back in I don't know when and when we're talking about this data, we're talking about crash diets. We're not talking about lifestyle changes. So yes, if you simply go a week fasting, and yes, you will fail at your weight loss. But if you change your lifestyle, you won't.
So what
Tell
is
me
the
why, though? You would probably know this better than me.
There's no strong scientific evidence supporting a universal 95 to 98 failure rate. Research shows many people regain weight over time, but outcomes vary depending on how success is defined. One comprehensive review published in American Psychologist found that about 1/3 to 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost in long-term follow-ups, and it did not support a precise 95 to 98 failure figure.
because weight is not an individualistic pursuit. You narrow it down to this idea that it's causal, like that they're just not trying hard enough. But that
I
is
didn't say that. It's multifactorial, unquestionably. A lot of people lose weight. The problem, right, is that they put it back on. Are we in agreement?
yes.
Okay, great. Why do you think?
Okay, we gotta pause there.
God damn it! All right,
I'm sorry.
John, I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah, but
All right.
voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay.
Okay, and I will have to leave my seat. So I will see you guys later. And yes, be prepared to lose your marbles today. I wish I had pearls so I could clench them. Oh my God. See? Time to go. And we're back where we left off.
Hi. I have lived in a fat body for like as long as I can remember. And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it. What I want to say here is I live.
Wow. Please, I would say like talk more about this. What do you mean like you're not okay with it? Like you're not okay with what? With being fat, with the like well, at least it seems that there is a sane person there. So but I don't know if I should be hopeful. This movement is just like never ceases to amaze me.
With autoimmune disorders. I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent. And
Oh, okay. Okay. No, you are not blaming your like just because you're neurodivergent, like your fatness on the fact that you're neurodivergent. Like I have ADHD before ADHD like became popular. Okay. And yes, we can be impulsive 100%. And that goes for everything, spending money, eating stuff. I don't know, like collecting and, impulsivity is one of the many. I mean, I'm saying about ADHD. I don't know what she has, but that's why you take meds. That's why you go to therapy so that you can regulate yourself. I know now that my depressive cycles, they are way like far like in between, like one another, and they last way less than before. But I take meds, loads of them. I even take meds for restless leg syndrome. It's a real thing, and it's effed up. I hate it, but once I discovered that there was a medication for it, it's like, the best thing in the world. But you can't be like, I'm neurodivergent. Like, no, sorry. I mean, the autoimmune disease, yeah, but neurodivergency,
this is the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate this life. I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is. But it must be done.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
Well,
It must be done. What do you mean? It must be done. Like what? You're carrying the torch for other people? You're sacrificing your health for other people? It must be done. What must be done? By who? And why you?
Because I've worked really hard to not have this.
what does that mean?
Like you beat yourself up in the gym or something?
No, I don't. That's not fun.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What I mean is that I grew up with a number of undiagnosed conditions, and
Yeah, so have I. You know, like being diagnosed at 30 with ADHD. And I know that's a terrible thing to do. It's so fucked up because I look back and I can see how my life could have been different. And like, I can't go back to the past, just let it go. But man.
even I can think back to like middle school, and I couldn't keep up when the PE teacher would make us like run laps. And I'm like, this is physically aching me, and I didn't understand why. And I didn't understand why because I grew up with a single parent, undocumented single parent. We were bound to the medical system that we had access to.
Damn, like the medical system in the US is terrible.
I've done what I needed to do a number
Like
of
this is
times
the first, like this guy always raises the red flag, like, and again, like obesity is not healthy and pretend it is, it puts lives at risk. She's, yeah, going
try
off
to
topic.
lose weight.
What did you try? Tell me.
I've I've worked out at the gym. I've tried to do Pilates. Even yoga.
Okay.
Even yoga hurts me.
Just a reminder that exercising, very important for like for your life, but exercising only counts for 10% of your energy expenditure, like your daily expenditure. So you can 100% lose weight without setting foot at the gym, because at the end of the day, it boils down to calories in versus calories out. I'm sorry that it is really sad that she can't exercise or do anything. Maybe she can go to a doctor, like a physiotherapist, and they can come up with an activity that she can do, like maybe walking. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't work in this field, but that doesn't mean like you're saying, oh, I tried everything. You're talking about exercising. But at the end of the day, you gained the weight you did because you overate, because you ate more calories than you spent in a week, you know, throughout like your life. So I get, and I don't know like how if your autoimmune disease, if her autoimmune disease somehow affects her metabolism or not, but maybe, and I'm just like, it's a big maybe, because again, I don't know what she has. Like maybe losing weight could actually help her with her autoimmune disease, you know? But if the doctor tells her that, he's being fat phobic. Because every doctor tells a fat person to lose weight, even when it's in their best interest.
Okay, so the exercise causes you pain.
The
due to
exercise
autoimmune
causes me-
condition. Okay, no problem.
Right.
I'm with you.
Dieting, for example.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that food makes very much sense to me in my neurodivergent brain.
This is
Huh? Food doesn't make any sense in my neurodivergent brain. What the hell does that mean? It doesn't make sense. What? What? Food dieting doesn't it like okay. So let's reframe that. We're not going to call it a diet. We're going to call it a lifestyle change. We're going to start like little by little implementing different habits, and like we're going to be substituting here and there. We're going to be eating a little bit less of this, a little bit less of that. I mean, that doesn't make like what? Oh my God, I don't want to say. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I don't know what she has. So
Or mechanistic eating actually helps people who are neurodivergent, and the research supports that because it doesn't have to make sense to you. In other words, it's like you eat on these schedules and you eat these foods and you eat this much, hence the concept, right, of
Hard
mechanistic.
pass. I don't like that.
I understand that you don't like it, but you'll have to decide which you don't like more.
oh my God, are you 10? Are you 7? I don't like that. I don't like that. As a neurodivergent person herself, I have to say that it's really hard for us to establish routine. But it is also very important for us to have a routine, to establish a routine, because that's what's going to make us, like have more clarity, like reduce anxiety, reduce like stress. Having a routine is the best thing you can try to implement as a neurodivergent person. I don't care if you don't like it. But what you're telling me is that you see, and I'm not saying that it's easy. Okay. From experience, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't have like a super. No, I don't. But I'm not saying that it's easy. However, my darling girl, you don't have to do what you want. You don't have to do what you like. You have to do what you need. Do you want to like regulate like whatever neurodivergent like disorder you have? Then you have to start using the tools to do so. And eating better, creating a routine gives you a safety net that you can rely on. But no, we're kids. We just do what we want.
Carrying the weight or the mechanistic eating? Because it
I
actually
would-
could be helpful. There are other ways forward, but you
Why
can't.
she's so busy? Like
You tried them.
I tried a whole lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker. I work with youth. There are a lot of
Let's go back to you.
yes, I don't
yes.
care about others.
I'm saying for me, right? There are many things that I'm more concerned about than my weight. My body is not the most interesting thing about
brought
me.
up your weight and said,
We're okay. I think she's getting things messed up here. My body's not the most interesting thing about me. Thank God. My body's not the most interesting thing about me either. And I don't want it to be the most interesting thing about me. Can you believe it? Like, oh, look at that person. And then when you open your mouth, it's just like, oh my God. I hope like my personality, my intelligence, my ability to communicate, I hope those are the things that like really stick out more than my body. We're not talking about that. We're talking about health. Body weight, you said so yourself, it's difficult to carry a heavy body. And you work with people, like you're a social worker. So I imagine you must have a lot of empathy. Maybe you should take some of that empathy inward and think about your future. Think about people around you. And think about, how can, by bettering yourself, you can better your relationship with other people. No one's talking about like, oh, change your body so that you can, so that is like, what? That's what oh my God, that's what I say. These people, they like my previous video talking about Gabriela Lascano was like, they come and talk about things that were not even part of the discussion to begin with. Like, I don't get it.
I don't see a way out of this.
Right.
I've tried everything.
I
telling
take
you
care
that,
of it in the ways that I can, and I've found works for me.
but you're just
No, you
told me it didn't work
haven't.
for you.
But it works to an extent.
What
Told me
extent?
it didn't work for you.
It works to an extent.
What
And This is an
extent?
irrelevant conversation if you're happy with it.
You are obese, so it is not working for you.
I stand on 10 toes down, that we are not pretending that
But there's
this is
healthy
okay.
at any size. There are absolutely elements and aspects of the movement that do put that messaging into the universe. I've had
Hell
those debates.
yeah.
I've had numerous
I want
debates with
to-
people who are body positivity activists that try to tell me that they can be healthy at any size. And it's just not the case.
And I disagree with that.
All right, we got a pause there.
Shame.
Oh God, I disagree with that. We disagree, like, no, you can be healthy at any size. Okay, so if a person is super, like skinny, because like body positivity, body positivity women are all over the internet talking about the thinness epidemic, how the 90s heroin chic is back. And like, why are you talking about that? Why, you're saying that they're not healthy? What do you mean? You can be healthy at every size because that's what you preach. So you don't get to go on TikTok and criticize women because they're skinny, because they're clearly healthy. Because you cannot diagnose someone's health by just looking at them. I mean, what's wrong with Kelly Osbourne? Nothing. You want to tell me there was something wrong with her? You want to look at her body and judge her? Oh, come on. Because they're all complaining and talking about this shit.
We
You've
have to
used shame as a
pause.
vehicle.
And I'm sorry, we have to pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Jesus Christ. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, these people here will never reach the chair.
What I'm curious about is if you care about people's health and you have people in front of you, and I'm sure you have people online who are telling you that the body positivity movement, or I prefer body liberation, body justice, body acceptance, body blah.
But there are different movements. In fact, body liberation or body neutrality, they tried to distance themselves from body positivity because it has become such a toxic movement. I'm hearing
all
something
the
in my earbuds.
all the good shit that we like
Okay.
actually increases their health.
Okay, there's a noise on the street.
Then
And
I
I
don't
was listening to
understand your
that, and I was like, oh my God, what is this noise? I'm going crazy.
debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat?
Okay, let's go back a little bit.
All the good shit that we like
Okay.
actually increases their health. Then I don't understand your debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat people are telling you it makes their life better?
I'm debating.
Oh my God. First of all, what is making their life better? If I come to you and I say, look, I'm very stressed out at work. I'm feeling very lonely. I don't have a support system. So I drink 2 bottles of wine every day before I go to bed so I'm able to sleep. That makes me, that's like actually is good for me because I'm able to sleep. And it makes me happy. Are you going to go and applaud and say, oh, that's so great, amazing, girl, good for you? No, you're going to say, you know what, you should seek help because you are engaging with alcoholism, and that's not good for you. And nobody would shame this person for telling the other person that, right? So why is it that these is like, if a person goes and says something that is true, that obesity is not healthy, suddenly is a problem. Why can't we tell obese people that they, like that they're putting their life at risk? No. We can't. Like what? It's making their life happy. So, okay, what if I have a gambling addiction? Now it's making my life happy.
Debating their physical health, and I'm debating the people who claim that you can be physically healthy at any size.
Okay. Do you think you can be physically healthy and mentally unhealthy at the same
Sure.
time?
Of course, but that's not the claim.
Okay, sure. I think the part where I get stuck, I am a mental health professional.
You're fucking kidding me? You're a mental health professional and you're saying like, oh my God.
I work with people from a body liberation standpoint. I work with people in all shapes of bodies. What I know to be true from my experience is that body positivity, body liberation helps people take care of themselves. It's very difficult to understand why you think somebody is going to take better care of a body they hate. Like why body
No, they don't. They don't take care of themselves. And if you are part of this movement and you dare say you're going to take better care of yourself, that you're going to lose weight because you're facing health issues, oh, the backlash. Oh, the backlash. It's like you are a traitor to the movement. That's what they tell you. That's what they will tell you.
positivity would not inspire people to take better care of their bodies.
My argument. I never said you should hate your body. In fact, you
You
should.
didn't.
Okay, so I don't think that. What I think is that there are people in the movement who have co-opted healthy at any size, and it went from access to healthcare to quite literally meaning for them that you can be healthy at any size, and that's not true.
Okay. I mean, the studies show that if you're very, 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 very thin, or
Look
your
who
body
has
is
the
very,
red
very,
flag.
very, very big, it is more difficult to be healthy. That is absolutely
But
true.
then you agree with me on this point.
I don't, because I don't think.
Oh my God. You literally just said that if someone is very obese or very underweight, it's very hard for them to be healthy. I'm just like, yeah. No, but I don't agree with that, but you just said that.
Body positivity is the dangerous thing. I think hatred of fat bodies and people hating themselves and people living in self-loathing because they've been taught that their body is the wrong shape, that's the danger.
Both can be true at once. So let's look at this, right? So the first thing we would want to do, obviously, is incentivize somebody. So it's like, okay, what's the why that's going to allow you to tolerate the how? But hold on. That's the positive. That's the inspiration piece. Okay. Now here's
What's the why that can make you tolerate the how? Well, I have to write it down to understand.
If that piece, if all the things that they get out of it don't serve them as much as the things that are getting out of being overweight, and it does provide quite a lot. I can give you an example.
Wait.
Then they're not going unconsciously, they will sabotage the change. Can I give you an example so you'll understand it? Okay, there was a kid that I worked with.
Okay.
On Biggest Loser. He's 18 years old.
Oh, God.
He shows up with his dad, Ken. They both lose like 100 pounds. They go home, and they're visiting their family. It's the holidays. Doors fly open, and there's Mom. And Mom starts crying. And she's not crying tears of joy. She feels like they're going to abandon her, like they broke the contract, like they've outgrown her. And she becomes sad and she withdraws. So what is the 18-year-old?
The enablers.
He starts eating with Mom again.
In 600, we always see this in this like 600 pounds life, whatever. There is always an enabler that will feed them.
Does the food provide him a connection with his mom? I had something similar with my dad. It was one of the ways that we connected. Food provides a lot of people with a lot of different things.
Yes, you cannot eat and not have your parasympathetic nervous system turn on at the same time. There's no such thing as not emotional eating. It's fine. It's good. It's great. Food is great.
But what I'm trying to
Yeah, but not every meal I have has an emotional connection. Like my lunch today was great. I had lunch with my mom. We talked, about many things. It was awesome. But my snacks, like, what?
show you is that if, in some cases, the pain associated with continuing that defense mechanism is greater than the pain associated with change, it helps people change in some cases.
Not in the long term. And I
Can we
struggle.
pause there?
agree with
Sorry, you've been voted out by the
You cannot say that. You cannot say that. Sometimes people will change, like through love or pain. That's how you change, in my opinion. So sometimes you're having such a hard time that you're so like, that's kind of like what happened to me. I was so sad. People say like, oh, I loved my body out. No. I hated my body out of being obese, class 1 obese. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be in pictures. I hated being seen by people. So I said, you know what? I'm so done with feeling like this. I'm going to lose weight. And so I did. So yeah, sometimes being in a tough situation can actually, like in a painful situation, can actually be the trigger to make you change. What is it like? Necessity is the mother of invention or something like this. Like pain sometimes is the mother of change. So I don't think you should hate yourself or your body. I'm talking about my own experience. I was at a moment that I had a very low self-esteem, and I can tell you that the way that my body looked contributed a lot to that. A lot.
So earlier you were speaking about how there's randomized control trials that
There's
show
Mendelian randomized control trials that have now shown us that obesity is causal to all-cause mortality.
Okay, so I disagree with that. I think there's going to be a problem with
Fact checked, obesity is associated with higher risk of death from causes, particularly at a BMI. Oh my God. Now they're using the B word. And that's not the B word you're thinking. Above 30, at or above 30, but the relationship varies by age, severity, and other health factors. A large meta-analysis in JAMA found obesity linked to increased all-cause mortality. So, well, you can disagree all you want, but that's not what science is saying here.
Dozens.
yeah.
Good
So,
fact
but
check
here's
them.
why I disagree, because
You can disagree.
no,
there
but let me please let me hear me out.
dozens. Okay.
Okay, so the reason why is because registered dietitian.
Okay. Registered dietitian. Off to a good start. Listen, there are no arguments against facts. Okay? I can come, this is a stapler. You can say, I disagree, but it won't change the fact that this is a stapler. And I hate people like, no, I disagree. What?
In school for 6 years, studying nutrition, weights, all the stuff, and
Tell
we
me
can't
what
keep.
lipotoxicity is.
It doesn't come up in my curriculum because it's bullshit. Because it's a TikTok thing
What is
that's
it?
like,
What
cortisol
is it?
face or whatever.
It's
but
not.
please, just
Listen
back to
to
the
me.
studies.
It is not bullshit.
studies, back to the
It's
studies.
ectopic fat.
But can we just
It's
say,
when
because you keep
fat
sidestepping
ends
and then we
up-
can never
I'm not
get anywhere.
sidestepping. This is the claim.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, the claim is that obesity is not healthy.
claim is that obesity is unhealthy. Lipotoxicity
But the
is
reason-
not bullshit. It is the definition of ectopic fat.
It's
When
funny it never
fat
came up in
gets
6 years of a
deposited-
professional accredited undergrad.
What's fatty liver disease?
I know what fatty liver. I was a
What
clinical
is it?
dietitian at a
That's
hospital.
lipotoxicity.
Okay,
Okay? When fat is in the liver, when fat is in the heart.
So lipo is fat. It's like toxic fat when fat becomes toxic or something, like right? Because liposuction, you're like lipo is fat. I suppose.
when fat gets deposited in the brain,
Yeah.
that is lipotoxicity, and it happens.
Lipotoxicity refers to cell damage caused by excess fatty acids accumulating. Yeah, so it is when fat is toxic. In organs that are not designed to store fat, such as liver, pancreas, heart, and muscle. When fat spills over from adipose tissue into these organs, it can promote inflammation, insulin resistance, and organ dysfunction.
Happens when the body has no place to put the excess energy anymore.
Okay.
It is irrefutable that that is bad for your health.
Can we just go back to the correlation doesn't equal causation? So you're saying there's causal studies, right?
Yes,
Okay.
MRT
Gotcha.
studies
You can-
that show
the acronym is great. Okay, so my thing is the reason why we cannot show that the fat in and of itself leads to the negative health outcomes is because we cannot keep a human in a lab and control every factor, but have the only thing
why they
that's different.
use-
Then every study ever should be discarded. How do you know cigarettes lead to cancer? Did you put like lots of people in the lab? One group was not smoking and you started giving like a bunch of cigarettes to the other group. Like, well, how did doctors come up with that conclusion? So, hey, y'all, let's all smoke now because you can't put humans in a lab. Like, what the hell, woman? Like, it makes no sense what you're talking about.
Mendelian randomized control
But can you just
trials.
listen? So a person.
That
Oh my God, and the guy has already the flag up.
eliminates any conflating factors because they're based on genetic predispositions coupled with
But can I
lifestyle.
just share?
Okay.
A person in a larger body has
She's so like, feel like, okay.
experience.
The thing about these type of debates is that the person who's like the odd one out is never going to be able to reach like a middle ground. They all say that they disagree because of X, Y, and Z. So
things that we can't undo from the fat. So for
okay.
example,
Mendelian randomization is a research method that uses genetic variants as natural experiments to test whether a risk factor likely causes a disease. Because genes are randomly assigned at conception, this approach helps reduce co-founding and reverse causation, strengthening causal inference without conducting a clinical trial. Wow.
they might have negative health outcomes because every time they go to a doctor, instead of being given an evidence-based treatment, like I have unearned thin privilege, I go to a doctor, I say, my stomach hurts, I get a full
You're
workup.
basically saying the earth is flat. Are you trying to tell
Oh
me?
no, Jillian. No, I'll have to disagree with you. There is fat bias in the medical industry, and yeah, no, I mean you can't deny that.
That having fat in your liver,
I just wanna talk
having
about-
fat in your heart, having fat deposited in your brain is healthy.
No, I just want to talk
Okay,
about.
so no, you're not trying to say that it's healthy.
No, I'm not trying to tell you that is what I said. I was never talking about the health of it.
Okay.
I'm trying to say,
But that's a fucking claim. Oh my God. Like the claim is obesity is not healthy, and
everything you're saying is hinging on this idea, and it's a problem that we disagree on it, that it's the weight in and of itself that leads to the negative health outcomes. You're saying this MRT totally is.
Fat is an endocrine organ.
I know, but can you?
It
What about?
it destroys your hormone balance. It creates insulin sensitivity.
What about the
when
fact-
the body has too much fat, it releases insane amounts
Yeah.
of different.
I just wonder. Have you heard of social determinants of health?
Tell me about it.
Okay, social
she was
determinants.
like, tell me about it. Oh my God.
to health, a group of factors that impact someone's health outcomes.
Okay.
That are things like your healthcare access and quality, neighborhood and built environment, things like your stress levels, socioeconomic status. So
Okay.
here's the thing. A person who's fat or lives in a larger body, we can't take away that that person has probably experienced higher stress levels their whole life from experiencing marginalization every corner, from shows
Okay.
like The Biggest Loser to the doctor's office.
okay.
We can't take away that they haven't been given evidence-based health options because when they go to a doctor, they're told to go lose
When
weight.
fat gets
I can see what she's talking about. And I could agree with her if the illnesses and all of the bad shit that comes with obesity were only affecting people of a certain socioeconomic group. It's like if a fat person in Finland would not have the same effects as a fat person in the United States or a fat person in Brazil or a fat person in Australia. The thing is that we see these side effects or these comorbidities like across the board, whether you're rich, poor, Brazilian, Mexican, Finnish? Anyways, you see these things happening to obese people around the world from different social economic backgrounds. So you cannot deny that. You can't. I know that, of course, your environment is going to contribute for your health. Of course. But it's like saying that, oh, you'll only have lung cancer if you're poor and smoke. If you're rich and you smoke, you'll be fine. Like, no.
Deposited in
But
the
you're
brain.
not answering what I'm saying.
How does I'm confused. Are you suggesting these are the reasons people become overweight?
No, I'm suggesting that a person could be in a larger body and be perfectly healthy based on
Do
their
you realize
lab,
that
their
only
cholesterol.
7% of people who are classified as overweight or obese, call it whatever you guys feel comfortable with, only 7% are classified as healthy.
Say that was true. Say we knew for
I can
certain.
go grab the data for you right now if you want.
Say we knew for certain that it was.
Fact check. One U.S. population study using strict metabolic criteria found that 6.8% of adults with obesity were metabolically healthy. However, other researchers show higher estimates when different definitions are used, with prevalence of metabolically healthy obesity ranging from 10 to 30%. Even if it's like 10 to 30%, that's a very, like only 70%, like 70% of overweight people, obese people are healthy. 70% of obese people are unhealthy.
Unhealthy. That what you're saying is true.
And here's the classification.
But even then, we'd be in this place where, okay, so what do we do? Are we going to send someone down a path of trying to lose weight and then gaining and trying and gaining? And we know that weight cycling in and of itself, bad for the heart, bad for insulin, bad for the
What do
brain,
we do?
bad for all the things.
We work with that individual.
That's what I do in my private practice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And I don't encourage weight loss because it's unethical.
I disagree with
What? You don't unethical? Unethical is it's like not offering a patient the best treatment for their condition. You know, like, so I just put here, what is the pledge, the oath of dietitians, right? I solemnly pledge that I will respect the teachers who came before me and imparted their knowledge upon me. You don't seem to be doing that. I will share that knowledge with others in a way that is scientifically sound and honors the nutrition profession. I will make evidence-based decisions and recommendation unfeathered by my own personal bias. I will recognize my professional strengths and limitations and honor the unique value and skills of other healthcare professionals. I will collaborate respectfully and effectively with other healthcare providers. I will do no harm. Oh, look at that. No harm. Sorry, I screamed at the mic. I will do no harm. I will show compassion and safeguard confidence, trust, and privacy to others. I will uphold all the standards of professionalism and commit to work safely, competently, and ethically. You don't seem to be doing that. I will respect cultural, ethnic, racial, and other individual differences and honor the importance of personalization in healthcare. You're not doing that. You have come with your bias and you do not recommend. Okay. I will commit to ongoing studying, use my critical thinking skills to promote the advancement and application of scientific nutrition knowledge. I will serve a positive role model and contribute to others and contribute to improving public health with my whole heart before this gathering of witnesses. I pledge to remain true to this oath. This woman is disregarding her oath. Like, all the years she studied were for nothing. Like, I don't recommend, because that's unethical. Oh,
And what's
think it's
ethical? You were
unethical.
asking before,
I think
what
it's
do
unethical
professionals do?
not to be transparent with people
And
about the
transparent-
dangers.
Yeah, transparency is the dangers of weight cycling. You can go down that path.
but like she's acting as if there were only two choices: being fat or weight cycling. When in reality, there is a middle ground here. That is, you can lose weight safely. And as a dietitian, you should know that. And it is your job to coach your patient, to show that to them, to evaluate their eating habits and make this lifestyle transition change in a way that is going to be sustainable. That's your fucking job. Oh my God.
Separate issue. You're presuming they're weight cycling. If you're doing your job, they shouldn't have to weight cycle, right?
No, it's not about me. It's about the body. The body is so smart. But we're animals. Our bodies, when we lose weight, our body goes, oh shit, she just starved me. I'm gonna do everything.
Okay, no. That starvation thing is if you are going on a very strict diet and calorie deficit. If you're going on a moderate calorie deficit, that's not gonna happen.
Thing I can to try to get back to that place.
I think it's
drive
more
up thoughts about
complex.
food.
I think it's more
slow down
complex.
metabolism to conserve the energy you are getting.
So are you suggesting that because it's hard and it's multifactorial, we should negate the dangers and not try to get
I'm
healthier?
suggesting that it's more dangerous to weight cycle than it is to stay in a fat body.
Still not the claim. And if you want to show me that, sure, show me the data. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not healthy to do that either. That's still not the claim.
Your claim
This
is
isn't a
fat in of itself.
hierarchy of what is unhealthy.
We're out of time. We have to pause there. Yeah, thank you for that.
I know I'm using AI from Google, okay? But it says that a moderate calorie deficit, roughly 10 to 20% below maintenance, will not trigger starvation mode, which is largely a myth in mainstream nutrition. While the body does adapt to lower calories by reducing metabolic rates slightly above 5.8 calories per pound lost, it will not cause the body to stop burning fat or stop weight loss entirely. Starvation mode myth, where the body stops losing weight or gains fat while severely undereating, is not scientifically supported for moderate short-term deficits. Adaptive thermogenesis. The body may slow its metabolism or as it loses mass, or in response to prolonged restriction. Okay, restriction. But this is a reduction in rate, not a complete halt in weight loss. A sustainable moderate deficit, 200 to 500 calories less than maintenance, prevents extreme hunger and protects against excessive loss metabolically active muscle mass. She's there saying bullshit. Honestly. Oh.
Is that the large food companies are one of the primary beneficiaries of the body positivity movement.
No. I don't think that they are the primary beneficiaries because the large food companies, they were thriving before body positivity was a thing. It's not like they were struggling and then body positivity came and changed their economic status or anything like that, when in reality they seem to only be gaining more and more money. Like obesity is what benefits these large food companies, because usually a person is obese because they eat these highly addictive foods. But and yes, body positive may in a way like contribute to that. But if you think about the population, think about how like the population of the United States have changed, of Brazil and other places in the world where people have seemed to like being gaining more and more weight, and the obesity rate becoming higher and higher. That has been happening way, way, way before the body positivity like was what it is right now. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But I'm very interested to see what the people are going to say.
All right, if you want to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, she was fast.
Hi.
Fast. Oh my God, I'm so
Nice to meet you, Siobhan.
So, what are you classifying as large food companies?
Okay, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, General Mills.
Okay. Now, if they were beneficiaries and benefactoring and making all this money off of the body positivity movement, why is it that they spend billions on calorie counting apps, on a lot of things that we see in society as
because they want to make money off of everyone. Welcome to capitalism. Because like if you look like at the like PepsiCo is the parent company and have a bunch of other companies that are owned by PepsiCo. So they want to sell you these snake oils that are not going to work, that is going to cause you to weight cycle and then go back to food and then go, and they want to have their cake and eat it too.
forcing the losing weight or talking about losing weight, because that to me doesn't make sense and doesn't correlate. But also, people that are benefiting from this are the people in the body positivity movement themselves. A little bit about myself.
Wait, can I clarify one
please,
thing?
please.
I'm talking predominantly about finance.
Okay.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you. Even that, I still will say, so I come from the wedding industry. So I created the first publication in the world for plus size brides. I've now gotten 13 wedding publications around the world. And my biggest thing is the wedding industry is very centric on this is what the wedding industry looks like.
Do you what? Do you get food from PepsiCo to your weddings? Like, what the hell are you talking about? What does it have to do? Okay, let
I
her
have
finish.
created a platform where and not just larger bodied body positivity, but body positivity for all sizes. And I'm gonna come specifically from the wedding industry, which is very different, I know, but it still is a very weight-centric.
Okay,
Yes.
so your argument is the wedding industry is the primary beneficiary?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's where my knowledge comes from, but the body positive.
Oh, can anyone please explain to me what you meant by whatever it is that she was saying? What does the wedding industry have anything to do?
Positivity movement is really for us. We are the main, and I'm saying we because I'm a large body person.
Totally understand.
That's where it's
Can
really
I show
coming
you
from.
the ways
Please.
they're exploiting it?
Oh, please,
Well,
please, please.
Okay, so there have been 2 really big exposés, one by the Washington Post and one by the Examiner. So they're coming at this from numerous angles. So the first one is they've gone after a lot of the intuitive eating dietitians.
Okay.
So can I give you some statistics?
Please.
Okay. So Washington Post analyzed more than 6,000 social media posts by 68 registered dietitians with a combined reach of over 9 million followers. 40% of
Okay, you're talking about 9 million followers. If you think about like in the context of social media, yes, that's a lot, but in the context of worldwide population or even like the population in the United States, that's like nothing. Sorry, like 9 million.
them were using the anti-diet language, right? Like food freedom, no food rules, ditch the diet, healthy in any size, so on and so forth. Very often not disclosing the fact that they were paid by the big food companies.
Okay.
Okay, but that's I'm not saying that's ethical. That's actually quite unethical. Because again, I'm not gonna read the oath again, but you're going against the oath. But in the bigger picture, I don't think that affected like many people. 9 million is not a lot of people. I mean, it is, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Okay, so they're basically going after the intuitive eating dietitians. I can give you Abby Sharp.
That's okay though. But I want you to listen.
Ooh. Abby Sharp. Is she name dropping? Okay. Has Abby Sharp like ever gotten money from? I mean, I know she's very controversial and people on my side of the internet don't usually like her, but I like her. I think she gives really like good advices. So, but if she's like, I'm gonna like search that afterwards because I'm interested. And if she hasn't, I mean, do I see a defamation lawsuit coming? Maybe, I don't know.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
they are doing
Let's fact check, shall we? A joint investigation by the Examination and the Washington Post reviewed over 6,000 Instagrams and TikTok posts from 68 registered dietitian influencers and found out that many had financial ties to major food and beverage companies. The report found instances where sponsored content was not clearly disclosed and where anti-diet messaging appeared alongside industry-funded promotions. I want to see who.
that.
Yes.
But the aspect that the body positive movement is really for us, that is not even anywhere we need to equate into it.
Where is the... It's on the claim.
It really
agree
is.
with you. When they're
That's
using
fine.
your movement.
But do you, and I'm gonna say this clearly and for right now, I don't care who uses my fucking movement. I want the movement to be there. And that right there, they can take it. It's marketing and sales 101. Of course they're gonna use the fucking movement.
But then
Because
why
they're-
can't you guys say, you don't get to co-opt our movement?
That's not for me to do. I don't care about that. The thing is we don't
think you
care.
should.
But it's not about we should. We are
Okay. Yes, you should, because you won't gain a lot of sympathy from people if they misinterpret your movement. That's all I'll say. Oh my God, there's an Abby Sharp post on Instagram. The description: my name was dropped in a scandal I was never part of. Let's talk about why that matters. Jillian Michaels name dropped me in her argument against body positivity in a false statement suggesting that I was the one of the intuitive eating dietitians that worked with Canadian Sugar Institute and American Beverage Association, Coke/Pepsi, and failed to disclose. This is categorically false and defamatory. I have been vocal about the harms of The Biggest Loser, so I assume my name is just top of mind for Jillian as one of her vocal opponents. The truth is, I may be vehemently, I can never say this word, against TBL, The Biggest Loser, and other weight loss shows and her approach on said show, but I was actually nodding my head with some of her points and also nodding alongside some of her debaters. Two things can be true, as obesity body positivity is very nuanced. Still, I'm so disappointed that Jubilee did not fact-check this the way they fact-checked other claims made by Jillian and other debaters. So, are you going to sue her for defamation? The facts. I was not named in the Washington Post article as one of the dietitians that worked with the Canadian Sugar Institute and American Beverage Association because I have never worked with these UPF industries/companies. I was not one of the dietitians to be exposed to not disclose that partnership because I am adamant about proper and truthfully kind of excessive disclosure and transparency. We can't debate that. Calling out my name as example of the dietitian exposed by the article is categorically false and defamatory. Yikes! I'd sue for defamation. I mean, yeah, I'd sue for the defamation. Oh, okay. Let's go back.
But it's not about we should. We are doing what we're doing because this is our family. This is our world.
There are people
it doesn't matter
that are
about what.
exploiting
Do you
your
think I
family.
can? But the thing is, we don't care. We are the movement.
But there are a lot of people that are being hurt by this. And these guys essentially are engineering food to be addictive.
And you know what? And I will say this. I will say this.
Yeah.
I will give you the claps on that. I will say, yes, that is true. But what I do want to say is that it happens all the time. A movement starts and someone comes in and takes it, and someone comes in and comes in it, and someone comes in and runs with it.
You don't deny it, you just don't care, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it's fine for them to do that, but the bigger issue that I want you to realize is that the body positivity movement is ultimately for us. If someone wants to come and get on our coattail, that's perfectly fine. But for us, it doesn't need to go away. It doesn't need to go anywhere.
Asking for it to go away.
It needs to go away the moment that you are harming other people by lying to them. So you need to change the movement and be transparent with people. And let's face it, most people in the movement, at least the loud voices on social media, are not.
But
I'm suggesting.
Now, see, there's a suggestion.
Okay.
I like it. I like a suggestion.
I'm suggesting that it could evolve, that you guys could call out when you're co-opted, that you could centralize messaging so that it's not all over the place.
Now that, Jillian,
right?
I am not opposed to.
Okay,
I'm not opposed to that.
But I'm not saying it should. That's not a claim.
No, but the thing is I want you to know who the true beneficiaries are. You're saying that they are the main beneficiaries.
I'm speaking financially.
Yeah, and
I
that's
apologize.
Okay. And that's okay. But you're saying the claim says that the large food companies are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. That is not correct.
I understand.
Because we are the main people. We are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. If someone wants to come and get on our coattails, go ahead.
Disagree with you on that. I think that's a mistake.
And that's okay.
I think that you guys could tell them. You could expose what they're doing. Can I read you something else?
Please.
Okay.
I'm here to hear.
Can I just show you
like, this
how
is a great dialogue.
diabolical this is, okay? I have a friend that's on the inside. He sent me this. He goes, I just want to show you the ways in which this is being in the inside of I can't say that a big food company.
You got
it.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Okay, so here's the intentional message overlap, right? So healthy at every size. Quote, you can be healthy at any size. Corporate benefit, removes health concern barrier to sales. Stay with me, okay? Dieting doesn't work. Protects snack foods from being cut. Healthy at any size. Weight and health are unrelated. Corporate benefit. Deflects from products causing obesity. Healthy at any size. Weight stigma causes disease, not weight. Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna let you
Okay, I'm just
finish.
showing you. This is
What I
this
what
is an
I
internal.
want to bring,
Yeah.
what I would love, and I'm saying love because I want it, but I love it more. If there is such a resistance to the body positive movement, and I'm speaking specifically kind of from your
me?
standpoint,
Okay.
yeah.
Why is that? Why do you think there's so much resistance? From like many people would say because we hate fat people, we despise them, when it has nothing to do with like hating or like loving or whatever. But for me personally, it has everything to do with the fact that you just like spew lies, lies, and lies and lies. That's why people are against the movement. And I think you should reflect upon this.
Yeah.
If there's such a resistance to the body positive movement, why are you letting them take money from you?
Wait, where's the
is it-
resistance? I'm
Well, I mean,
telling you.
resistance of acknowledging or saying that it's actual, that it needs to be.
I think that there are absolutely. I think that intuitive eating is a goal, not a treatment plan. I think
Agreed. In order to achieve intuitive eating, you need a lot of work with yourself, with your body, with food. Like it's a like multifactorial thing.
that having access to health, which is what health at every size was initially intended to do. I think all those things are important. I think, unfortunately, the fact that the movement is decentralized,
Okay.
and it's prone to being co-opted, it can do harm in the ways that I have shown you.
And that's
what
okay.
I'm saying.
And that we can agree to.
All right,
I can agree
we got
with
to
that.
pause there.
Oh my God, you guys, it's so hot. Let's go.
Voted out by the majority.
Well, I really appreciate this.
No, this was
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you very much.
Ooh,
So
this woman
I-
looks like she's ready to fight.
We really want to focus on what you've just been saying about the co-opting of the movement. Because what you seem to be critiquing is the people who've co-opted the movement, not the people who actually built the movement, not the people who actually are the movement. So the idea that
Is the movement, though. So the thing is,
Well,
like,
for what-
I don't want to name names, but there are many, influencers who have said these things. So who's the movement?
influencers and activists are not necessarily the same thing. We were allegedly invited here as activists and advocates, not always the same thing, right?
100% agree, but most people will listen to influencers rather than activists because influencers, they are loud and they make more noise. And so you should, like as an activist, work towards shutting these people up.
I
influencers
don't
are.
disagree, but it's become, as I mentioned, a patchwork quilt of like, I'm an activist, I'm an influencer, I'm a dietitian. It's whereas like when you look at something like AA,
Well, let me
very
guide you to
clear.
something very clear about the Health at Every Size movement. Health at Every Size is actually a registered trademark of the Association for Size Diversity and Health.
I know.
So when people are misusing that,
I know
we
that.
are a movement that doesn't have the same resources as the health and wellness industry or the health and wellness grifters or the major food industry, right? We don't have those same resources to fight every time somebody misuses our terminology, our
Oh, come on. Come on. You're not, oh, God. Because, sorry, but I don't see you activists fighting against Tess Holiday. Or that woman like, slice of cake. You can't get a smaller slice of cake. I don't see you guys fighting these people. You know, like, all I see is you like, oh my God, they're so amazing. Look at her walking down a runway.
philosophies, our practices, our values, but there are some of us out there who are doing that, right?
I never see the caveats. I never, ever see the freaking caveats.
So One
But
thing
maybe
is-
today,
maybe you could help amplify some of the caveats. You
I
have
am doing that right now.
Okay, so let's go to the
I'm
claim.
trying.
The claim that body positivity is primarily benefiting big food companies.
I mean
If that's-
financially.
I got it.
Because individual benefit, I can't, it's not quantifiable. I'm talking about the way these bastards are manipulating this message.
Right,
To
okay.
do things
So-
that I think are very unethical.
So, if body positivity is feeding their profits, will we see their profits reduce as this pendulum swing away from body positivity continues to go back to the, like I get asked all the time as the director of NAFA,
Pretty
is
much
body
what I
positivity over? Is body positivity over because of Ozempic? Is body positivity over because of MAHA? Is body positivity over? Part of my argument is it depends on what you're in body positivity for. If you're in it for systemic change, it ain't over because the system ain't changed, right? But I do concede the point that we are moving away from some of what we saw as body positivity for the last 10, 15 years.
And what do you mean by that?
As we
Sorry.
move away from that, it's less popular, it's less
Oh, I
trendy.
understand.
We're
Okay.
moving more towards a thin-centric ideal again, or leaving behind. We've labeled body positivity DEI, and we're turning away from that. Whatever. As we move away from that, are we going to
Okay.
see the profits of these food industries drop?
Well, you are.
Why would you need to make food
Sorry.
genetically addictive if body positivity can just sell that food? If you could just tell people, when you feel good in your body, you're going to eat all the Nabisco snacks that you want to, then why do we have to make them
that They don't
addictive?
even want you to stop eating one chip. This is how incremental they are about this. They literally engineer.
sounds-
Just hear me out. They don't even want you to have to stop and take a drink of water when you're eating their chips. So they engineer how much fat is in your mouth in each bite. There are a team of multidisciplinary scientists that literally work around the clock, 24/7, day after day, year after
Their body
year.
positivity
No.
So this is the thing.
No, I'm
right?
saying
What you're
they
describing
want
is a
no
misuse of
friction.
science.
Yeah.
What you're
Yes.
describing is,
Yes.
what you're
They want
describing
no
is
friction.
business. What you're describing is capitalism. What you're
Yes.
describing is greed.
Yes. I'm
Body
happy to indict
positivity
that.
is not the reason for that.
No, I'm suggesting that I think you guys should get pretty freaking vocal and pissed because these guys are actively manipulating your message. So much, I haven't even gotten to half the shit that they do. So, for example, they have effectively lobbied to remove nutrition guidelines and warning labels on food packaging because of harmful shame. It's like, trans fats are bad for your health.
Okay,
It's a fact.
They have advocated for that. The
Yes,
body positivity
but
movement, the
they're
fat activist movement, they're
your
using our
messaging.
language, right? Like you
Yes.
said, co-opting.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they should stop co-opting our shit.
But they're not going to. But
Right.
yes, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
so how do we
I
build
think
more-
you guys should get pissed about it. Like I get the things you're pissed at.
We are pissed about a lot of
I
things.
get it.
This
Can you
is a-
add this
it's
to
a
the list?
long
Add
list.
this.
This
I'm
is-
saying they're the primary. You want to
And
indict someone?
It is on the
indict
list
these.
It is on the list for some people whose focus is body positivity, right? We have different foci. I do civil rights stuff. Some people do fashion stuff, wedding industry, health and wellness, eating disorders. There are folks who are thinking about the food industry. There are folks who are nutritionists who are, I can't, without seeing the list of the people that I remember the Washington Post article.
Yeah,
Some of
they're
those people are
grabbing the
not people
intuitive
that I
yield.
would associate with us.
I understand, but they're literally. Many of them are certified in intuitive.
Yeah, you wouldn't associate them with you, but you got to see that they will use our professional's opinion, like that stupid dietitian that was there, like, I don't suggest weight loss because that's unethical, to endorse the message that you can be healthy at every size, that what you eat really doesn't matter, that excess adipose tissue is not a problem. So it's like the fact that you yourself don't associate with these people, many other will. And they will use that to pretty much say, oh, see, I have a person who is knowledgeable, has been to college, who has studied this, telling you that it's okay to eat whatever I want. So you're the one who's stupid. You are the one who's disagreeing with a person that has a diploma. What diploma do you have in this area? And that is very much problematic.
Eating.
Okay, but
Like
they're not
Abby Sharp.
Okay, but that's not health at every size. Intuitive eating is not a health at
I
every
know,
size
but
principle.
that's part of the.
No, my God, it's not. But how many TikTokers do we see saying, "I'm just listening to what my body wants"?
My problem with the movement is that it's like, oh, but it's not that part. But it is that part. It's
You're
all
saying
of
our
it.
problem is that we conflate that all the things get conflated.
I'm not saying it's your
but
problem.
You're conflating
I'm saying
some of the things.
I'm saying my issue is that because it's become a patchwork quilt, an amalgamation of movements and voice. Oh, it's an activist. It's a political. It's an influencer. It's a celebrity. There's no accountability for any of this. There's no through line, and it allows exploitation
why aren't
in
we
ways that I
holding-
think can be hurtful.
Why isn't the entire public holding food companies
I am.
accountable for
I am.
food company evils?
I think
like
Maha
why
is.
is it the why is it are
You don't
they?
think-
Are they really? Because saying that red dye is bad, but then going ahead and suggesting you to have beef tallow, health, like you're not really promoting health. So I don't think the Maha movement is. I don't think they care about health at all.
You don't think so? I mean, they're reevaluating the generally recognized as safe rule. They just changed the food pyramid, which guides. Do you want to talk about that one? It guides hundreds of billions of dollars in subsidies, and
Okay,
now
so-
they're
So
mandating.
Maha is
I'm saying that
focus on the-
And they used AI generated text in their report using fake scientific articles. So questionable.
focus
food
on it.
industry.
Sure,
Okay.
part of it.
okay.
I think
So
there are a lot of people that are focused
you
on
do
big food.
understand
The
how
Make America Health Again initiative promotes improved nutrition and reduced diet-related disease, but independent analysis noted that its efforts largely center on broad public health goals and policy recommendations rather than direct regulatory enforcement against food companies. And let's just remember like how many people have lost their benefits and how that kind of makes it harder for them to access like actual food.
how and why they have significantly more resources than actual body positive activists,
I'm
right?
not saying that they don't have more resources. I'm saying, can you see this issue? What do we do about it?
Well,
Do you think it's a problem? I think it's a problem.
I think there are a lot of problems. I think one of the problems is the assumption that everything that has to do with food and its lack of health correlates with fatness. Because we are saying body positivity.
obesity thing again?
Well, no, well,
fine
I'm
with
saying we are saying body positivity, and body positivity includes all kinds of ways of being in a body, right? Not just body size. It includes
No. In theory, yes, but no. Because if you go on TikTok and you'll have like girls saying, "Oh, can we just have our movement? It's not for you, thin person." No. It should be about all bodies and all sizes, but it is not. It is not.
all of the things about disability and skin color and hair texture and all of the things, right? Body positivity. But we really have been coding that in this conversation to talk about body size, right? And you can
Are we
understand.
talking about, okay, I actually didn't
Because
think
body positivity
but to
talks
be dead
about
honest with you,
body size
I've never
only.
interpreted body positivity to be about skin color or gender ideology.
But some of
I
the
really
people
never
who,
did. I didn't.
But
So
some of the
if
people
that's-
who
if-
started body positivity.
It doesn't matter. Okay, that was their idea, that was their ideology, but nowadays it is not what is centered around anymore. So fuck the past. Like literally like fuck the past. Because in the present, right now, we know that body positivity is mainly about fat people, period. Why is it so hard?
And practice it today and talk about the values that
I don't think
have
anybody
meaning for
sees
them.
it that way.
I
That
don't
is
think
not a
that's
part
true.
of the movement. I think the general presumption
The general presumption is that it must focus on weight and weight loss because that's a bigger narrative in the culture than some of
that
the
is
other
who
stuff.
we are seeing advocate. We're not seeing a person who's black being like, I'm body positive because I'm black. They're generally in a different civil rights movement.
I think that
I'm
discounts
not
the black
seeing-
leadership in this movement, right?
But I'm not
and
saying
it's
that.
an
I'm saying
intersectional movement where we
I
do
very
talk about
rarely
these things.
see.
And I'm sorry, but also fat people in the body positivity movement, they don't usually advocate for people with disabilities or people of other sizes. They will only advocate for people who are women, mostly women who are fat. That's it. I've never seen a body positivity woman come on TikTok and say, hey, everyone, now that the Summer Olympic Games are over, let's tune in the Paralympic Games because disabled people need our attention. Disabled people deserve our, like, let's root for them too, like that. Let's make them feel proud. No, I've never seen like a body positivity activist, influence, whatever, ever promote that, for example. So maybe that's how it started, but that's not how it's going. And if it and if you can't see that, you're delusional.
Okay.
People of color, simply based on prejudice regarding their skin color, using body positivity to make their point. I see them, and this is a movement. I see people
You
who
see
are
people who have multiple identities that include their skin color, their gender
Yes, but the
presentation, their
core
disability,
issue they are
talking about body
addressing
positivity
is what?
related to their
core
body
issue they're
size and
addressing-
those other issues. We had somebody else
I've
earlier
yet
talk
to
about
see
that.
I've never seen it in all the years. Like I've seen active.
I mean,
which
has
you
anybody
started-
else here
hang on,
seen that?
Hang on.
Because-
Which you started, right? Or I'm sorry. The organization that you work for
Yes.
had to do with a gentleman that started this organization because his wife, label it however you would. I don't know what word you guys feel comfortable with.
We've been using fat for 57 years. So
Fat's
you can
okay
say
to
fat.
use? Okay.
Yes. But see, okay,
You want me to
so
call
like,
someone fat?
you are, but listen, Jillian, you've positioned yourself as being,
And that was awesome. The girl like, like these reactions are simply the best. Oh my God.
really, really knowing this movement and really knowing where we're showing up. And it is really, really common for activists and advocates to talk about using fat as
But
a
you can't say
neutral
overweight?
descriptor. We just say fat, right?
Okay, fine.
Because
so this was started
So-
by a gentleman whose wife was
Overweight,
fat.
Yes.
Who
over
was
the
discriminated.
average weight. Oh my God, why is it so hard to believe? Like when you go and call someone, oh, she's tall. What do you mean she's tall? What are which is the height you're basing that information on? Like what? If you say, oh, she's short, like, oh, short. Based on what? Shorter than what? Like, we're talking about average. I am tall. I'm 5'9" because I'm taller than average. My nose is big. Bigger than what? I can guarantee you there are a lot of people that have bigger noses, but my nose, like, if you think about, like, in general, you look at my face, say, oh, you have a big nose. Because when we make these statements, we're talking about the average. So over the average weight, my fucking God. Or what it's considered healthy for your height, for your age.
against.
Yes.
That's where your part began. Intuitive eating
Yes,
is
that's
a
not
different
how I
animal.
came into it through body positivity,
I understand,
right?
but
Because
that's
we're
how the
mixing a lot of
movement started. If
no,
you really want to try to
that's
sell
how
me on
my
the fact
organization
that I am
started.
totally
The
deluded and that this has
movement
nothing to
started
do with body
with
size or
Black women and
eating
femmes in the
issues.
civil rights movement, with women, with people at Stonewall who were fat people, with fat performance. That's how the
What's the
movement
through
started.
line though? What's the through line?
No. No. The body positivity movement started because a man wanted to publicly say that he wanted to publicly say that he loved a fat woman and not be shamed for it. As far as I'm concerned, that's how it started.
What do you mean?
Okay, so people at Stonewall, is it because they were gay or because they were gay and, as you guys say, fat?
Right.
Is it
It was because they were gay, but there were fat people there, and those fat people talked about their fat
So
bodies.
hold on, gay people are part of the body positivity movement?
A huge part of
No,
the body positivity.
on the merits of just being gay, guys.
No.
That's what I'm, not
Body-
gay and
Defending
fat.
people's body sovereignty, people's body autonomy, people's right to live freely.
Oh my God. If people acted this way, maybe you wouldn't have so much backlash. Oh, we defend body autonomy, but I cannot. You cannot intentionally lose weight because that's fat phobic. You have to accidentally lose weight. I have to oops, oh my gosh, where's my weight? Oh my God, I lost it. Oh, is that because that's not what happens. And I don't know why. In what world do these people live in? Seriously.
In their body.
What is
we
the
have
core
different
premise
angles.
of discrimination?
It
started with regard to being fat. Am I right? That is what he started your organization
My
for.
organization, yes.
Okay,
But that's not the
healthy
whole
at every
movement.
size.
The beginning
is
of the-
about access for people.
Right, and
who
health at
are-
every size principles talk about intersectionality and multiply
But
marginalized
that is
people.
not how
All
the
right, we
messaging
have
is
to pause
being
there.
put out now.
Sorry, we have to pause.
So we'll watch the end of claim 2, the beginning of claim 3, and if depending on if this video performs, I will make a part 2. So if you guys like it and want to see me react to the rest of the video, give this video a like and comment down below, and I'll do a part 2. But let's finish.
Of the movement.
I'm sorry, we got to pause, guys. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Oh, she's been seething with hatred.
So one thing that I want to clarify, I said it on the sidelines, which I know I shouldn't do, but it's health at every size, not healthy at every size. And you've misspoken that just a couple of times. I just think it's important just for the audience to know that, because there's a really big distinction there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I think it started as health at every size, and I think now it has been co-opted by many or misinterpreted, misutilized. You don't think so? Okay, I've seen very many people say I can be healthy at any size.
Well, I think
or
that-
every
that-
size.
I mean, I think that
I've
that
seen
can be-
very many people, and I've debated with very many people who've utilized that point.
Well, I personally believe you can be healthy at any size.
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not
Baby, just because you believe in fairies doesn't mean that they're real.
going to debate that point because I don't think that that's what we're talking about right now. So I want to come back to when you were saying that, big food is profiting off of the body positivity movement, and that's a really terrible, bad thing. Okay.
I don't think it's good.
Okay. So what is your fear with that? What's I want to understand
These
your
guys-
concern.
I don't think we have enough time for me to tell you how deep my concerns are with
Let's
these,
do the
with these guys.
TDRL, the too long didn't read.
I think that they. Okay, let's go back. God. All right. If we go back to the 70s, or late 60s, 5% of American adults were obese or overweight. Right now, it's 74%. What happened? Did every
Fat check. Obesity, obesity rates in the 60s and 70s were much higher than 5%, according to the CDC historical survey data about 13% of US adults had obesity in 60 and 62, and by 1980, the rate was about 15%. Obesity was less common than today, but it was not rare. Yes, but what is the obesity rate in the United States right now? It's 40 to 43%. So we're talking about almost half of the population is obese. Going from 15% to let's put it like to 45%. It's a 30% increase. That's a lot.
Everybody just have a moral failing? Was it a quantum
changed
leap in
the-
genetics?
they
And
that
I'm
changed
talking about adults. It's not, well, we're not talking about kids.
BMI
being
overnight.
hypothetical, what I'm trying, no. Look at pictures.
Look, the BMI changed in the US because they were following the guidelines of the World Health Organization, a very serious organization who would, Jesus Christ, who would not lightly change these guidelines because they felt like it, okay?
They
did.
Look at pictures of
Fact check. According to CDC data, about 74 of the US adults have a BMI classified as overweight or obese. Obesity alone accounts for a smaller share, roughly 40% of adults. But we have 73 to 74% who are overweight. Wow. Like you're telling, like 26% of the US population is not overweight. Think about that for a second.
more than BMI. Do you
Which I
realize
don't- I don't agree with, just
Childhood
FYI to the world
obesity
out there,
did
but-
not even, it wasn't even a thing. Type 2 diabetes is
The BMI formula has not changed. It has always been calculated as y divided by height squared. What did change in 1998, the NIH adopted WHO standards, lowering the US overweight cutoff to BMI above 25 from around 27.8 for men and around 27.3 for women. This reclassified some people as overweight without any change in their weight. The obesity cutoff, BMI equal or above 30, remained the same. Oh, so they changed the overweight category. It was not even the obese one. Wow, I did not know that.
used to be called adult onset diabetes. What happened over the last 50 years? And what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a sudden moral failure. I don't think it's because 74% of American adults are lazy and weak and stupid and pathetic. I don't think so at all. No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I think it's not. I think
But you do think
when
it's
we
an
look at-
individual's responsibility when they do become in a fat body.
I
Yes.
think that the system is largely rigged, and 74% of American adults are having a real hard time fighting against it for a host of
wait,
reasons.
wait.
Hold on, for a host of reasons. One of those big reasons, one of those huge reasons is big food. And when you look at
But if big food, wait, I want to pause you there because if I know that you're very big in the MAHA movement and you're saying they're doing all of this amazing stuff, but then they cut SNAP benefits. And so access to food is such a huge reason for people to be able to have a nutritious diet. So how can you explain that when you're saying that big food is awful, terrible, all of these things, but then still align yourself with the movement that cut billions of dollars to people to get access to food?
okay, hold on. I'm not
Okay.
saying this movement is perfect, but I would not like to see people
The one big beautiful bill include estimated 186 billion in SNAP reductions through 2034, according to Congressional Budget Office projections. These cuts stem from federal budget legislation that expand work requirements and shifts costs to states. The MAHA initiative promotes nutrition policy goals. SNAP funding changes are tied to a broader federal law.
what is called nutrition assistance. I don't think that's soda and chips and candy. Now, having changed the food pyramid, it's calories, it's not nutrition. I do think changing the food pyramid has now mandated
that access to the foods on the food pyramid is going to make it more available, and it's going to take the hundreds of billions of our tax dollars that these guys captured in a subsidy flow. The food pyramid is not about guidance for you, me, you. The food pyramid is about grabbing $600 billion over the past 2 decades to grow ultra-processed food from the shitty-ass GMO crops that are covered in poison that then get grabbed by big food and loaded with more poison and then tinkered with so you quite literally cannot eat just one. I think these guys are the devil. I do.
Food companies design many products to be highly palatable by optimizing sugar, fat, salt, and texture, which can stimulate brain's reward system and encourage repeat consumption. Some researchers argue certain ultra-processed foods may have addictive-like properties. However, there is no broad scientific consensus that foods are addictive in the same clinical sense as drugs. The term addictive is debated in medical research. Yeah, that's a fact. But it will give you a hit of dopamine.
And the depth of my
Right,
feeling about
sure.
this, unfortunately, like this is what I mean. I don't. If we're going to indict someone, like when you look at intuitive eating, it's awesome in theory. Feel your fullness. You can't. You cannot.
I disagree with that, though.
We're out of time. Thank you.
Yeah, no. We should be able to do that intuitively. It's just that we've lost that ability, and that sucks.
My next surrounded claim is that the body positivity movement oversimplifies disordered eating and trauma.
Ooh. Yeah. So, ordered eating. Yeah. Especially BED. And especially, yeah, I think that they oversimplify those, like EDs, and they deny, many denied having any. Many like obese people claim to be in recovery. Many obese people claim to have ana nervosa when literally, like the symptom like of having no ana nervosa is, or atypical ana, whatever you want to call it, is to lose weight, not to the point where you will become like bare bones, but that you will like go from obese to overweight, for example. They say, oh, I starve myself, and you continue being obese. That's impossible. That is impossible. Like a guy, the longest, like the world record for longest fasting was like, I think over a year. A guy didn't eat anything. He drank water and electrolytes and some vitamins, and he lost, I don't know how many pounds. But because if you starve yourself, you are going to lose weight. So what I think is happening is you are starving yourself, and then you are restricting yourself, and then you are binge, like later on because of the restriction, because restriction like many times leads to hinging.
All right, whoever wants to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
I'm not going to assume, but I imagine you have some sort of maybe personal experience with eating disorders or disorder eating.
Definitely as a kid, would overeat. I wouldn't say binge eating disorder, but I would compulsively overeat. I would eat to have a connection with my father. I would eat to feel a sense of comfort. I would eat to feel a sense of control, without question.
And did you feel shame and then go to therapy to work on that, or did you just oversimplify it and then kind of?
I didn't oversimplify. I was 13, 14, and 15, so I didn't have the bandwidth to process what was actually going on. I was in therapy for other things that were going on in my household, and I definitely was helped.
Okay. So I'm glad that you were able to, go to therapy. That's not something that everyone is able to go to. It's a luxury and a privilege for a lot of people, especially in the United States. I have dealt with an eating disorder since I was 7. That's when it was first realized. Wow. It wasn't diagnosed at 7, but it was realized at that point. And my body fluctuated. I'm not going to use numbers because I think there are a lot of people that have disordered eating that use numbers as a metric. And so they'll look at me and I'll say a metric, and then it'll cause someone to have what I like to call a shift in where they are now to where they're going to be down like a rabbit hole of disordered eating behaviors. I think that trauma and eating disorders go hand in hand, but they're not exclusive. There are people that don't necessarily have any trauma, but somehow have developed some sort of eating disorder. My eating disorder was something that I had from a really young age and then just worsened.
Okay. And what does it have to do with the claim?
Because of my physical perception around people, but it wasn't something that innately was trauma-based. I am neurodivergent, and it was never diagnosed until I was,
Oh God, here we go again.
Almost 30. So, but that's not because of trauma. That's just because of my neurodivergence. That's how my brain is connected. And so sometimes with neurodivergent people, they have eating rituals, eating routines that are rigid. And so that's where mine came from. So to say it's oversimplifying EDs, like body positivity is oversimplifying EDs, oversimplifying trauma. You're taking away the people that that use the body positivity moment to find someone who they can relate to, and so someone that they can connect with that doesn't have the same road that maybe the
Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that they oversimplify those, like disorders. That's why a lot of people in the join the body positivity movement. It's because of the sense of community. Like, finally, I found someone who's fat like me and seems to be very happy and loving their body.
masses had, but has their same road. Yeah.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Hi.
I'm Summer. How are you?
Jillian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so the body positivity movement actually got me out of my eating disorder, and if that's okay, I would like to tell you a little bit about it.
Absolutely.
So growing up, I wasn't ever fat. I just have I have large breasts. I have got a condition, basically. I know you're laughing.
I'm laughing because
why is the guy in the background also laughing? Look at this.
I have large breasts. I have got a condition, basically. I know you're laughing.
I'm laughing because that would be my dream. That's the only reason I'm laughing. I was like, poor you, Summer. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Not to try to invalidate how you feel.
That's okay.
Sorry,
okay.
go ahead.
So I've got a condition called macromastia. It means that my breasts will just continuously keep growing. So I had to deal with this my whole childhood, and I got picked on and bullied and stuff because I was 8 years old with double Ds. So that's absolutely okay. I went to the doctors and they actually told me that I had to lose weight in order to get a reduction. At this point, I was actually a Scottish size 6, which is a UK size 2. So on the bottoms, just obviously not on my top. Mm-hmm. So this actually drove me into an eating disorder, and I started to starve myself and try and make myself thinner so that my breasts would get smaller, and that never ever happened.
You misinterpreted what the doctor said. I mean, I'm not saying that the doctors were right. If you said I was skinny, but they said you have to lose weight in order to get the operation. I don't know why why that is. Well, I just quickly Googled here, and there is really no reason to tell her to lose weight. To do the surgery. It says while losing weight is often recommended for overall health, it does not alleviate the symptoms of this condition.
just continuously, because it's obviously a condition, so they just kept getting bigger as I was getting smaller and smaller. And it wasn't until obviously the online platform made the body positivity movement more aware to me, and then that really helped me, and it's made me start eating more. It made me start posting more online about my body, and I just think that your claim's a little bit silly.
Can I give you some examples of what
Of
I'm talking
course,
about?
please.
So while intuitive eating is actually not intended for people with eating disorders, I cannot tell you how many people have misinterpreted that. And I've ended up dealing with it personally for quite some time now. So for example, things like
Intuitive eating was not designed as a standalone clinical treatment for eating disorders, but its principles are often incorporated into an evidence-based care to help reduce rigid dieting and disorder eating patterns. It is typically used alongside medical and psychological treatment, not in isolation.
avoid diets where mechanistic eating is actually recommended for people with many different types of eating disorders. And even the women who started intuitive eating suggested that, like, hey, this is a goal, not a treatment plan. But when you've got, random people online who are, hey, just listen to your feelings of fullness. You can't do that when you're anorexic. Your body no longer recognizes those satiety cues. It
Exactly.
actually shuts it down. And it's, what was it? Listen to your hunger. Like, you cannot do that if you have binge eating disorder and you're feeding a deeper hunger. It's the fundamental ways in which things like intuitive eating have been misrepresented by the masses. And of course, I understand what it was intended for, but if you think that the vast majority of these people posting on TikTok have read the frickin' guidelines of mechanistic eating, I think we're both dreaming.
No, I get that, but I think the thing in my head is like, why do you care so much about someone else's body in order to like try and argue against body positivity? Like, say someone's like fat, obese, whatever, walking on the street, that doesn't actually affect you as a person.
Totally right.
So,
For me, particularly, and this may be, you may think that that makes me a jerk, but I have said this, like, do I wish people would be like overall healthy? Of course. I would never argue against that. But if these people do not care about their health, I'm not going to be the one to care about their health. Like, I have too many problems in my life to care about these people's health, okay? My main issue is the lies that they spread to vulnerable people who need therapy, who need guidance, and they just listen to body positivity and think everything is fine, when in reality they're just masking the problems. Like, they're eating their problems away, listening to the body positivity movement. That is my problem with it. Not with like the individual's health. Like, if you don't care about your health, I'm not going to care. Just don't come here and tell me that weight and health are not related.
so I don't understand why you would feel the need to fight for people that are arguing for that person to feel validated as a person.
I'm not arguing for the person I don't know. However, there are people that do want help, and I think that this can leave them feeling exceptionally confused. There are many that I have tried to personally help that have experienced feeling misled, misguided by some of the, or almost all of the intuitive eating principles, and they're not being educated on that.
But you could
fact.
also argue like the latter.
But there are a lot of people that actually want help, and I care that they get the most.
But I don't think the
efficient
body
help.
positivity movement is like just for obese people, just for people that are.
Again, maybe not initially, but now it is.
Drastically need help.
Anorexia is
It's
not
for-
obesity.
So I was anorexic. And the body positivity movement helped me. Do you not think that the body positivity?
Yeah, but you maybe you were embraced by the movement because you were starting to eat and gain weight. Maybe that was it.
Positive movement helps them rather than shaming them, because that's how they get in that place in the first place.
But it didn't help you. That's the thing. It didn't help you because you went from one eating disorder to another. You went from Anna to now obesity. It didn't help you. It's the same thing. Like, oh, I used to gamble. Now I drink. Like, is my problem solved? No, it is not. You just went from one side of the spectrum to another. Body positivity did not help you. Okay, maybe you can say that you feel happier now. But do you really? Are you really happy with the breasts? Are you really happy with how painful it is to carry these breasts every day, all day long? So you didn't and then that's the thing that really pisses me off with body positivity, is that they mislead people into thinking like, oh no, it helped me. No, it did not. You are overweight now. You are not cured from your ED. You have just replaced it for another.
With other people shaming them constantly.
I am not suggesting anyone should be shamed. You're completing two different issues. I don't think
But
that
I
people...
think in one, it's all one issue.
It's not though, sweetheart. You're telling me that you think I think shame is awesome. I don't.
No, I didn't.
I don't.
That didn't come out of my
I
mouth.
think that these tools or things like, oh, you know what? It's society, it's diet culture, it's this, it's that, it's bigotry. No, dude, it's probably the fact that like somebody, God forbid, touched you when you were a kid.
I don't think that's appropriate or even right. In the slightest bit. No one touched me.
No,
And
not you, dude. I'm not talking about you.
I completely get that. And
I'm not talking
also
about you
keep mentioning
personally.
like parents. I have two very loving parents. My parents never made me feel shamed about my body. It was like TV shows like The Biggest Losers. In the UK, we've got Super Size versus Super Skinny. Like, it was all of these TV shows that made me feel like this. It wasn't my parents.
I'm going to suggest that I don't think
Yes, I do think that what's on mainstream media can make you feel ashamed of your body. And in this regard, body positivity may have helped fat people to love themselves. Love yourself at any size. Maybe it's better than healthy at every size. You cannot outsource your responsibility. You cannot say that it was the media. It was a bunch of things. Maybe it was more the bullying in your school, the trauma that made you feel self-conscious about your body than what was on TV. You can argue that, well, but people were bullying me because my body was not what was presented on television. Okay. But at the same time, you didn't treat this trauma. It led you to develop an ED. I don't think the doctor telling you to get smaller was the trigger for your ED. Maybe it was how people, maybe you wanted to fit. Like, if my breasts won't fit, maybe my body size will. And you did not address this trauma. And you just went from one ED to another. So how can you tell me that that was helpful?
you would be vulnerable to TV shows.
Why?
If there wasn't a primary injury. Because who cares, buddy? Do you know how much stuff like goes after me personally, or after people of color, or after gay people, or after like
But you have
everybody?
to remember, I'm quite young. So when these came out, I was very young, very impressionable. And I have like adults telling me that my body, because my BMI is higher, I have adults telling me that my body is like, you have to lose weight to fit in with normal people. Like, you're young when you're impressionable.
No. I mean, okay, that's maybe what television was telling you, but you have to lose weight because it's going to be good for your health.
And for you to be arguing against like body positivity, like I hope you don't have a daughter, because my little sister like needs the body positivity movement. I think people need the body positivity movement because without it, everyone's just going to be
no, and no. People need to understand their problems. People need to understand what is causing them to eat so much, to gain so much weight. People need to look inward, need to stop brain rotting and just like think, oh, okay, why is this happening to me, right? This month, I went a little overboard with shopping. Now I have to make like, why? What happened? What caused it to happen? Because now I feel super guilty, right? What made me do that? That's what people need to start doing. Some people need the body positivity. No. Some people need a reality check. Some people need to understand that eating yourself out, it's not the appropriate way to solve your issues.
looking at other people, judging other people. Like, I'm sure.
You think the body...
That's what body positivity people do. They judge people all the freaking time. Kelly Clarkson lost weight. Adele lost weight. And they were traitors. Angelica, unfiltered, said that she was no longer part of the movement. And a body positivity influencer literally said, she's dead to me. They judge people all the time. And if one day you wake up and you decide to lose weight, then you'll see the real face of body positivity.
Positivity movement is stopping people from being assholes?
No, that's not what I said.
I think you're not right about that.
No, that's not what I said at all.
I said you think it stops people from judging other people.
Yeah, well,
no shot that's going to happen.
It's just not they're going to hide it from you. Their size or what they're
Of course they are.
They're not.
Sure
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
That's okay.
Please return.
Okay, well, I have more than 2 hours of footage here, and we'll stop here. We're about halfway through the video. There's about 50 more minutes to go. If you want me to react to the rest of the debate to the video, make sure to leave a comment, like this video, because then it shows me that you actually liked what my reaction. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the family. Have a wonderful day. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.